together. I'm early, of course, and one by one I see musicians arriving. I still haven't met Miles, I haven't met anybody in the band except Herbie. Nobody comes to say anything to me. I see Tony Williams now, he was the last one to arrive. He walked onto the bandstand, and everybody else walked on. So, okay, I better get up on the bandstand. And, you know, Miles went up to the microphone and he just did ba-ba-ba-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-da, and the music took off like a tornado. Literally my breath went, you know, like this. But I just sort of hung on. I grabbed the tail of the tiger, you know, and just hung on. And, you know, I was ready. I was ready to do what I could. I'd done a lot of playing in London. I mean, I literally played almost every kind of music I could find. You know, all the traditional music, contemporary music that we were working on, open form music, which I have to say is an amazing experience to work on because it makes you think on your feet, it makes you listen and respond and react and in a way that of course you need to do in all the music, but particularly in open form music, the way it hangs together is the interaction of the musicians. So my ears were wide open, the radar was on, you know, and so I just got through the set, and Miles, after the set, sort of said a couple of nice things to encourage me. Second set, Ron Carter comes in, right, and who is really the musician I was taking over from, although Ron had left the band technically at least a year or more. And Miles was picking up bass players at different cities. He just picked one up here and there. And years later I was talking to Herbie about that first few weeks. We had 3 weeks there at the club. And I said, how was it? He said, well, you know, first couple of nights we didn't really pay much attention to you, to be honest. We'd just been playing with whatever bass player showed up on the gig, and we just figured you were going to be there for a minute, and that was it. And, you know, we sort of played through you, is what he said. We were just playing through the bass player. And he said, in fact, we had one bass player, he said, we had one guy who was played with us in Washington, D.C., and he fainted on the bandstand. So he said they were quite impressed that at least I was still on my feet at the end of the set, which I thought was great. And he said, but after a couple of days, you know, he said, you started to dig your heels in. And he said, I started to think, oh, maybe this is going to be working out. So, one last thing about that is that the first 2 nights, I felt that they were playing through me. I was feeling, going from playing with my friends in England, very close, very intimate relationships of sharing the music, and suddenly I'm in this strange country, strange situation, musicians that weren't listening to what I was doing. I felt really, I said to Jack, he said, how was it? I said, you know, I'm not sure this is right for me right now. I don't feel that I'm connecting up. And he said, you know, hang in for a while. Well, I've been reading some literature. For a long time I've been interested in some of the literature that comes out of Sufi literature, and it's just beautiful parables and stories. And I was reading something about from that literature, and this sentence said, plant your banner firmly in the desert sand. And I thought about this, and I thought about, okay, what does this mean? Okay, plant your banner. Your banner is your symbol, your flag, your identity. Okay? And you plant it firmly with resolution. And you plant it in the desert sand, which is a place that perhaps is barren. There's no people. There's nobody to see your banner. But you still plant it. And I thought, okay, that's what I got to do. And so I went and I started to, instead of waiting to be invited to the dance, I just started dancing. And that's when Herbie heard me play the third night. Because I decided that what I had to do was make space for myself, not wait for somebody to make space for me.